Finally got through to our bathrobe-wearing friend. Signal's clear as a bell now, which in the Barrens probably means someone's gonna try to kill us soon. But hey, good news first. Kelso knows where the box is. Bad news? It's on the 5th floor of what used to be Seattle's most ambitious mall office combo. Now it's just the King's personal trophy case in his own personal castle. And that castle is all full of, like, maybe 5 or 6 of the most violent gangs in the Pacific Northwest, all drunk and drugged and rowdy and looking for a fight, so... Yep.
The aura around that whole 5th floor, it's like a magpie's nest. If the magpie collected artifacts of power instead of shiny things. Though I suppose some of the artifacts might be both.
Now this is the kind of opportunity I used to dream about. Access to the executive suite through careful cultivation of internal assets. Though usually the internal asset wasn't wearing a bathrobe and being held quasi-captive by a warrior king with a penchant for violent cardiac extraction. Still, Kelso survived this long by reading the room. That tells me the king can be flattered. Classic executive ego play, I could work with that.
Huh. 5th floor, multiple entry points, unknown guard rotation, no clear exfil route. And our only intel comes from a guy in a bathrobe who's basically Stockholm Syndrome in human form. Perfect. Still, there's going to be a party, big one too. So, at least the diversion is taken care of. I've probably pulled off tougher operations. Like, I can't just name you one right off the top of my head right now. But, sure. I mean, at some point I must have been a part of something somewhere that had less likely odds of success.
Got my smallest drone ready. Barely bigger than a cred stick. If I can get it to Kelso, we'll have eyes and ears where we need them. Just gotta find the right time to hand it off.
Phase 1, establish contact through existing assets. That's our friend in the bathrobe. Phase 2, gather competitive intelligence, and that's Chuck's little bug drone. Phase 3, identify optimal entry vectors. Though I have to say, my usual approach involved more boardroom presentations and fewer death matches. Still, I would definitely rather be doing this than smashing out another last-minute do-or-die client presentation deck. Do you know how difficult it can be to get just the right amount of synergy humming between a well-placed 3D pie graph and 2 to 3 bullet points? Trick question, you should never use more than 2 bullet points, and it should be a polar area diagram, not a pie chart. What is this? The government? Pfft, come on.
More arena spectacle. Oh my. 20 go in, 1 comes out. Rufus says that's not very sporting. I'm inclined to agree. And now, the king's inviting the winner into the palace? How convenient.
3 more events. Obstacles, knives, guns. Each winner gets palace access. Classic proving ground scenario. I can work with that.
I suppose it's smart to skip anything with full-on combat of any sort. Even winning is a loss when you're nursing a bullet wound, especially right here, right now. Still, was looking forward to watching our resident Razor take down a few randoms in a postmodern gladiatorial spectacle.
Obstacle course. Clean, controlled, minimal variables. Injuries, manageable. Probably best I don't get shot or stabbed before we kick off the actual mission.
While everyone is distracted with the obstacle course, I can get my drone to Kelso. 2 birds, 1 drone.
Time to work the crowd, build some buzz. Every champion needs a good hype man. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's how to sell a story. Though usually the story didn't involve quite so much potential for obvious bodily harm.
Slanted slalom, salmon ladder, log roll with blades, because apparently regular logs aren't interesting enough. Cliff traverse, weighted slog, warped wall. 6 obstacles between me and palace access. Between us and the target.
Nah, he's in the lead after the slalom. That salmon ladder, though. Wait, how did she... Ha! Never seen anyone clear it that fast. Remind me not to arm wrestle her, ever.
A little entropy, a touch of chaos, and... oh dear. Having some trouble with the salmon ladder. 2nd place, elven lady. How unfortunate. Oh, don't give me that look, Rufus. She started it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. And more importantly, we have palace access. Though next time, maybe we could try something with a little less potential for catastrophic injury, like corporate espionage, nice, safe corporate espionage.
Yes, I know that was technically cheating. But did you see the look on that elven woman's face when her perfect reflexes suddenly failed her? What do you mean, karma's going to get us for this? Since when are you the moral compass of this operation?
Obstacle course cleared. Palace access secured. Now comes the hard part. Finding and extracting what we came for without ending up as the King's next object lesson in proper guest etiquette.
The King's withdrawing to prepare for the festivities. Perfect timing. Now we just need to blend in, act like we belong. Just another day at the office, albeit an office with significantly more weapons and questionable interior design choices. There's a bunch of bands, though. Yeah, so that's loud. But it's all layers of distraction and diversion. Or D&D, as I like to call it.
No, we can't just ask the building spirit for directions. That would be... Actually, why can't we? Oh, right. Because they're probably as crazy as everything else in the crash zone. Good point.
Gonna get my little friend mapping the maintenance access points. Every place like this has service tunnels. I can't run a building without them. You know, as soon as these hearts-worn creeps stop staring at us. So, yeah, basically any time now for that to happen would be nice.
Heartsworn garrison in the East Wing. Allied gangs each have their own territory. Multiple guard rotations. Loosely on guard, but they're definitely watching everyone. Gonna have to get creative, I guess.
Every corporate takeover leaves traces of the original infrastructure. Secret passages, maintenance tunnels, forgotten access points. See those service doors? Bet you anything they connect to a whole network behind these walls, leading all over and up and down this place.
Movement at the far end. The Ashen, their leader. Those religious symbols. Christian crosses, Buddhist wheels, Islamic crescents, all worked into her gear. Like she's collecting faiths the way some people collect weapons. Or trophies.
They're auras. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's like they're half there, as if they're trying to fade away but can't quite manage it. And their leader, her aura is like static on an old internet broadcast.
Look at how the other gangs give them space. That's not just respect, that's fear. And in my experience, when heavily armed people fear something, you need to pay attention.
Some kind of ritual. We come from ash. We are the ashes. We walk as ghosts in this shell of a world. Tell me you're a death cult without telling me you're a death cult. This isn't just ceremony. It's conditioning. Breaking down individual identity, building group cohesion through shared... whatever this is.
Power fluctuations every time they say ash. Could be coincidence, could be something else. Either way, my drone's staying clear of this whole weirdo undead freak mess.
No, I can't explain why their auras do that flickering thing. What do you mean, maybe they're practicing? Practicing for what? Oh dear.
Well, as fascinating as this impromptu religious experience is, perhaps we should focus on our primary objective. Fifth floor isn't getting any closer while we stand here contemplating the metaphysical implications of post-apocalyptic worship ceremonies.
Still waiting for an opening. These hearts-worn can't stay this dialed in all night, not at this kind of shindig. Just have to stay frosty.
Right then, time to go artifact hunting. Just another day at the mall. You know, this is actually not even the first ruined mall I've been to. I will say, those death cultists are a new thing, though. Yeah. Did not have death cultists as something we'd be going up against. Yep, just did not think of that. Nah.